Hi, I'm Johnny, and this is Off the Beaten Trail, and today I'm taking you to Rodney, Mississippi, the ghost town of Mississippi. So Rodney, Mississippi is an old town in Mississippi that had been abandoned. It was founded in 1828. In the 19th century, it was just 2 votes away from being the Mississippi state capital. However, after the Mississippi River changed course, the town population declined. Today the town is just a shell of what it once was, but many of the historical buildings still remain. Rodney, Mississippi was in use long before the United States was even thought of. It was once a crossing point for the Native Americans to cross the Mississippi River. These crossing points were few and far between the river due to the strong currents. Afterwards, it was settled by the French until the French and Indian War, when Great Britain seized control of the town. And then it was taken by the Spanish in 1781 when Spain took West Florida. Spain kept control of Rodney until selling it to Thomas Calvin in 1798. In 1828, the town was renamed after Thomas Rodney, who was an important politician and lawyer from Delaware. He later became the judge of the Mississippi Territory. Rodney took an important part in the Civil War when the Union seized the town to control the Mississippi River. The town is located in Jefferson County off of Rodney Road. Jefferson County, Mississippi has a small population of about 7,000. The largest city in Jefferson County, Mississippi is Fayette, with a population of about 1,500. Rodney, Mississippi is about 30 minutes west of Fayette by car. The largest city near Rodney is Natchez, which is about an hour south of Rodney by car. Rodney is about 2 hours and 20 minutes north of Baton Rouge, 1 hour and 35 minutes southwest of Jackson, and 1 hour and 10 minutes south of Vicksburg by car. You can find Rodney by searching for Rodney, Mississippi on Google Maps. So when I was filming Rodney, I had originally intended on talking about all this information in the town of Rodney. I actually filmed all of this in Rodney before I filmed it here. But when I was at Rodney, I was attacked by a plague of black flies. They followed me everywhere the entire time I was in the town. So I didn't get to have any salvageable footage from that area, which is why I had to re-record all of this information. But from what I did get in the town, there was a few tapes that I was able to salvage, and I'm going to go ahead and show you those clips. But before that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that way every time I head to a new location, you can come along with me. I upload a new video every Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock Central Time. So when I had originally planned to visit Rodney, I was just expecting to visit some of the abandoned buildings because it's a ghost town. That does not mean that there are ghosts in the town, and that's not what I was expecting. And a lot of people thought that I was going to a haunted town, but that wasn't the case. However, when I did visit Rodney, I did experience some strange things that kind of creeped me out. So you may notice some of that in the video when I'm actually there in the town. When I had returned from my trip and I was speaking to someone that was a customer of mine at the business that I work at, I was speaking to her and she had told me that she had went to college near Rodney, and whenever she was in college, the sorority would go to Rodney, Mississippi for the pledges, and they would make them stay a night out there. And she was asking me why I would possibly ever want to stay at Rodney, because it was a really creepy place. And I couldn't imagine having to stay the night at Rodney. It's kind of creepy during the day. So staying the night in a sorority pledge would have to be very terrifying. But then I also had a work colleague of mine tell me that she visits Rodney often and she loves it. She didn't explain anything paranormal at all. I had seen a lot of different reviews where people didn't talk about anything paranormal and they returned just to see the historical buildings because it gives you a unique connection to the past. So it may just be my mind playing tricks on me. I'm not sure if you believe in the paranormal or if you don't believe in the paranormal, but Rodney is definitely a place that if you do believe in the paranormal, you should check out. And if you're a skeptic, you should definitely check it out because it's got a lot of unique things going on there. Unfortunately, when I was in Rodney, I wasn't able to explore inside the buildings because you have to plan your trips around the river level. If the river is high, you're not going to be able to go into the buildings unless you have a canoe or something. But when the river is low, you are able to walk into the buildings. At least I've seen pictures of other people doing so. So I would imagine that it's okay to do it. However, I'm not positive if it is safe or not because obviously these buildings are very old and they could possibly be falling apart. Another thing that I noticed when I was at Rodney was a lot of the buildings had posted signs on them. I know that the church is acceptable for people to go and tour around it, and there's another church that's also acceptable, but I'm not positive on which buildings are acceptable for people to go into and venture throughout. But I don't even know if anybody really owns these buildings or not because there was only one house near the town, and maybe it's possible that the people that live in that house may want to put posted signs on things to encourage tourists to go away, but I'm not certain if these houses are owned or are not owned at all. All I do know is that it is acceptable to go into the churches and a few of the buildings. Now, when you search for Rodney on Google Maps, it doesn't actually have a real location, but it does pull up the address of the town, and you can get directions from the area. It just doesn't have an area with reviews or a number that you can call or anything of that nature. When coming to Rodney, make sure to be prepared because there are no bathrooms, and you have to head down a very long road in the middle of nowhere. All of the buildings are unoccupied due to the flooding of the Mississippi River. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you the clips and the trip that I took to Rodney. Hi, I'm Johnny. And this is Off the Beaten Trail. Today I'm taking you to Rodney, Mississippi. Rodney was an old ghost town that was founded in 1828. The town kind of has a spooky vibe about it. If the river is high, make sure to bring a lot of bug spray because those suckers will eat you alive. So I'm going to briefly show you around Rodney a little bit. The water is high, so it's a very good thing that I am from Louisiana and it flooded often where I'm from. I'm used to walking through the flood waters. But I'm going to show you a little bit around the town. Then I'm getting out of here as soon as possible because I get the sense that I really should go. This place is a little creepy and there's a house because it's about to be dark and I do not want to be here when the sun goes down. This place is creepy enough in the daytime. I hear dogs. There's only one house. There's only one house nearby and I know those dogs aren't coming from that house. There are some other noises that I've been hearing too that I can't really explain, and it's just kind of creeping me out a little bit. Y'all see that alligator over there? He just went under. Y'all see that alligator over there? He just went under. Well, that's all for Rodney. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and share. If you hit that notification bell, you will be notified every time I upload new content. And I'll see you next week when I head to the Windsor Ruins in Claiborne County, Mississippi.